Right, lads, got to start with Spurs Arsenal. I won't lie, I thought Spurs might sneak this one. I thought with the couple injuries and suspensions that they had, I thought it would really affect Arsenal. And it didn't, did it? It was kind of, you just knew what was going to happen. Watto.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Rice, suspended, Odegaard obviously picked up a bad one in the midweek for Norway. Tottenham are probably thinking, home game, two of the big players missing. Yeah. But I thought for 15, 20 minutes, Spurs did what Spurs do, huffed and puffed, but never really looked likely. Raya made a comfortable save. The two centre-halves in front of him are just colossus. And as the game opened up, I only thought there were going to be one winner, to be fair.
Toes, you nodded your head when he was talking about the two centre-halves there. How good are they? A lot of people say like they're the best, like they've got the best defence in the whole of Europe. Them two in particular, how good are they?
I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I think Gabriel is more valuable than Saliba.
Really,
Everyone raves about Saliba, but I think to replace Gabriel would be much harder than Saliba, just purely because he's a left footer as well. But the amount of tackles he makes, and obviously he adds so much value going forward as well. He scores goals, but the two of them are they're monsters, aren't they? I think even Haaland. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right and not wrong next week. But even Haaland must think going one man for man against them.
It's hard work.
Whereas when he played against Pinnock the other day, he bullied him a bit.
Well, we'll talk about the Man City game in a bit, right? I felt sorry for Dominic Solanke yesterday. I felt really, yeah, but he was left to his own devices, though, wasn't it? It was like almost, you see those two, you go and try and do something, try and disrupt that, and I agree with you, he did. He worked hard, you can see he was trying, but you're just getting no change out of him, are you? You ain't getting no change out of him.
He had that one opportunity where he kind of dithered a little bit, didn't he? He took that extra touch where at that kind of pace at North London derby, obviously he's an established Premier League player.
You've got to go like that,
He's just got to get it away, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But that header that he looped over at the back post was a good effort because that cross from Maddison didn't have a lot of power on it, did he? And he's done really well with that. What did you make of it, Ben? Like the intensity of the game and look at the Timber challenge versus Porro. What did you make of that?
I enjoyed the game, actually. I thought it was a really good game. Tottenham, as usual, at home, they always start fast. They always give it a good go, especially in the North London derby. It was real high tempo, wasn't it? You could feel that it was like it meant something. And I think Arsenal did really well to just sort of try and dampen that as much as they could. They just kept it all right, cool, let's just keep it at 0-0. We know that if we get a set piece or a chance, then we can score from it. The Duran Timber one, it could have been a red card. It could have been a yellow card.
What do you think?
I like the spice of it. It's class. You can't give a red card, I don't think, in a North London derby for that challenge. I think that would just be. After that, it's all bets are off.
It was an interesting one. You texted me yesterday, didn't you? Go, we've just been arguing about it with my mate. Yeah. So what was the argument about?
He was saying he could get sent off there because I think was it Jamie Redknapp at half time was saying that. He thinks he could get sent off. I don't think there's any chance that's a red card.
No, I just think that is the world we live in, though. I'm with you. I totally agree. I don't think it's a red card. But the world we live in, it wouldn't have surprised me, and it's pathetic it is.
I think it would have got rescinded by VAR.
Yeah, I'd have hoped so.
Because Porro's having a bit of a torrid, like Martinelli's ripping him apart, and then Timber comes in, he stands on the ball. He doesn't even put his stud. He puts his studs on the ball and then gets his body in. It genuinely looks like he's trying to win the ball rather than do it.
Well, VAR said it was because he didn't follow it through, basically.
Yeah, because he could tell he wanted the ball rather than
he wanted the ball. But it wouldn't have surprised, would it, if he would have just given it?
I thought the ref did really well to actually make the decision on
the field,
and sow it. But when you slow it down and that, he never went to hurt him. And like you said, his foot really rolls across the top of the ball. Yeah. So VAR, to be fair, made a good call. But I thought the ref handled the game well. I mean, Vicario had a little...
he wasn't happy, was he, Watto?
No, he weren't happy. He'd got his big yellow shirt on. He wanted to look good, but he got his shirt grabbed and he got a yellow card for his troubles. But I think the whole hype of it is just what happens in these tense matches, especially in the derbies. But look, the game itself didn't justify that. And I think for 70,000 fans there, you don't want a red card. Because, yes, you still want your team to win. But the standard of football, when it's 11v11, it's a proper game. It was a good game of football. If you take a man off, it changes the whole dynamic of the game.
I think with Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan, Toes, it's like, I find it interesting that two years ago, maybe, people were still accusing them of possibly having a slightly soft underbelly and they've lost two key midfielders. And then you've got Partey and Jorginho coming in, which ain't bad at all, but they seem to be just ruthless nowadays, don't they?
I think as well, what I love about Arsenal at the moment is that they have no ego. They're like happy to sit in a 10 and just sit in and soak up pressure, whereas most people would be like, well, we've got to go and get after them. We've got the better players. We need to take the game by the scruff of the neck. I don't think they don't do that.
This is where I think Mikel Arteta is earning all of the plaudits that he's getting at the minute is so well deserved as well. Because you see Raheem Sterling coming on and he just slots into the same. He's working his socks off, getting forward, getting back. Everybody knows that they've got to get back. And Arsenal, I agree with Tozer what he said. They knew that they had to soak up pressure, and they spent pretty much the first half just soaking up pressure. You flip that on its head, though, and look at the way that Tottenham play and the way that Ange Postecoglou does it for Spurs. It's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And it's literally one way. We play Ange ball, and that's it. We just keep going, But I don't think we live in a world of football anymore where you can just be so one-dimensional. I think you have to have more about you. Like Mikel Arteta there saying, we know we've probably got better ballers, we've got better players, but we're playing away here. We're playing at White Hart Lane, at Tottenham. We know it's going to be a mad atmosphere. We might just have to sit back and take a bit of pressure. So they adjusted, they adapted. Whereas Postecoglou just went, no, we're just doing this. And if you've got the best players in the world, you could probably do that, right?
Do you think...
You could probably do that, but Tottenham don't.
Do you think the Spurs fans, there's a little bit... Because I was looking on Instagram last night and there was a few kind of fan channels or people just starting to question.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I hear it a little bit as well. I think even Luke, like our cameraman, is sort of nodding his head a little bit in sort of like, he's sad with it though. He's sad.
What do you make of
Oh, he's really sad.
He's
really sad.
So we were just talking off camera. And I asked you guys as players and coaches, all former players, like before the game, Ange and Mikel Arteta kind of did the whole hello, nice to see you thing. Yeah, they do the whole...
That's how it felt, isn't it?
It is though, isn't it?
Fuzzy, what is that? Is that alpha male?
Alpha male, it's body language, it's an absolute cock-swinging contest. It's horrible.
See, I'm going to beat you today.
It was weird, I walked in the first time I met Watto, he did that to me.
All right, so...
All right, is this normal? Is it?
It's not nice, is it? You see him doing it, or it's either like a pat on the back of the head, or like Jose Mourinho's kisses and stuff like that, and... No, I don't like it. It's not. Just shake your hand. Well done, all the rest. Have a good game.
It's a power play, though.
It's a power play.
Yeah, it's like coming to my office, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Man, coming to my office.
I'm the boss now. All right, I'm the boss now.
Can we just quickly, just before we talk about anything, is there a better two-footed player in the Premier League than James Maddison?
Oh, mate, James Maddison is just—he's lovely, isn't he? I know. Yeah, he is. He's beautiful. That ball he put over the top for Solanke to head as well. The way that he gets the ball into space, he's already aware of what he knows. He's got 4 players round him, right? He knows he has. He's found himself in this little spot, but he knows he's still got enough time to be able to open his body, pivot, and then just do a little dinky ball because that's all he can do. He can't welly it. He can't strike it. He has to just get under it, dink it. Perfect ball onto Solanke. Lovely, lovely player. But just quick,
De Bruyne might have an argument there.
Yeah, De Bruyne probably. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, but yeah, just quickly going back onto Postecoglou, I just think Spurs fans at this moment in time are probably they understand that he is one-dimensional and it's Ange ball and we do what we do. But I just don't think that I don't think modern football allows for it. Even we just talk about Man City being the best at playing out from the back and popping. Even they will go long. The second goal yesterday for Erling Haaland, Edison belts an 80-yard ball. Erling goes, see you later, bam, goal. That's the most direct way you can do it.
There was a situation, actually, I think it was about the 40th minute, when they were and ahhing about taking this goal kick. I think it was Romero was on the goal kick. And he was thinking, should I play it to Vicario? Like, tried to, play a bit of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
And he ended up giving it to Vicario when he knew it wasn't right, and Vicario ended up clearing it with his left foot. Like, that's not playing to your strength.
No chance.
Well, I think that's what you talk about with the tactics when you talk about the one-dimensional bit. When you're the opposition and you know that they're not going to change, so we'll come on to City later, but Brentford obviously went man for man all over, but at some point you're vulnerable to a long ball. But if a team's always going to be playing short and sucking you in, and the threat's never behind, you can be full gas on your press and whatever. But the one thing that I thought watching that game, it reminded me of that Chelsea team when they were so dominant, when they used to beat Arsenal, because they'd be happy for you to go down wide and cross it because they've got JT.
Big boys, just
and
go
Gary
and
Cahill, no problem. And I think that's the point Arsenal have got to with the two centre-halves they've got. They'll stay now, a wide man will track in, but you can put any ball you want on.
Going to get mopped up.
They're not bothered, and they'll deal with it. And I felt every time the ball came in the box, they were so comfortable that they defend them situations. And it's the old adage 1-0 to the Arsenal, but this team have got so many more levels and gears and qualities compared to the old Arsenal team with George.
And Watto, what do you make of Ange after the game? He's basically kind of doubled down and put a bit of pressure on himself, really, by saying, I always win things in my second year.
I think he's obviously a little bit of self-defence mode there. I think he's been a little bit irritated by the comments, the conversation, the questions. He's obviously hurting a little bit, but I think they've got him, and he's come out and said that. And without being disrespectful to him, I mean, there'd have to be something monumental happen for them to win a trophy this year.
Yeah.
On what I've seen so far.
It's quite hard to win a trophy in England, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like put so much pressure on them, don't they? But Tottenham dealing with having that pressure, they haven't had that pressure, have they, for so long? So maybe it's what they need. You don't know. Never
know. Villa, Everton, lads.
Can we just start with that Duran goal?
Start with the Duran goal. How would you describe the Duran goal?
Well, I thought Emi Martinez's face said it all, because he probably faces him in training every time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hit it with the outside of his left foot, and it's just drilled and going away. I mean, 2 goalies are not saving it, to be honest.
He's got he's basically thunder fuggered it into the goal, hasn't he?
But I love Martinez's face when it's in. Normally he's the most emotional guy ever, and he just went.
Do you know what the beauty of these goals are, right? Is that there's always a place for a goal like this, right? You don't see so many of them nowadays. You don't. It's a sort of a dying art, isn't it? Scoring from 30 yards. People, you're not allowed to shoot because percentage-wise you're not going to score, so don't even bother. Let's just get it nearer the goal and try and walk it in. And it just goes to show that sometimes getting the ball out your feet, Vinny Company style against Leicester back in the day, boom, absolutely leather the thing. Catch a goalie off guard, and it has just got swag. It's got all sorts. It's a thing of beauty. But Everton, we got This is, for what this does to a team, when you lose 2 games, 3-2, and you're 2-0 up in both of them, this can be terminal.
DCL quite possibly could have had a hat-trick.
Oh, he easily could have had a hat-trick. Easily. He had chances for fun. But yet again, he didn't take the chances. And yet again, Everton surrendered a 2-goal lead. And that, when you get in the changing rooms at full time, when you're on the coach on the way back and when you get into training today and tomorrow, the wind has been taken out of your sails. Really badly, hasn't it, Toes?
Like you say, last 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 up.
Horrible.
Here's a question for you then. So with Ollie Watkins, obviously he's scored a couple, and you've got Duran hot on his tail. With Everton, their squad is so thin. There almost isn't the competition for places, isn't there? And I know they've signed Broha, but DCL's a shoo-in, isn't he?
I mean, look how his form. I don't know. For me, it's frustrating. Like, Watkins has a chance to get a hat-trick, and he's horrible to the person who crosses the ball. It just misses him.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's on him. Yeah, it's Rodgers. Yeah. He's absolutely on him. Like, that's got to be better. That's got to be better. I don't see that with Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, too nice.
I don't see that, like, strikers are selfish, aren't they? They're selfish human beings. They literally are the ones, it's all about them. So, like, for him, he should be, I don't know, just demanding more. And he has that one-on-one, he should,
I think that is a symptom of kind of Everton, which is strange, really, because you've got Sean Dyche as manager, who you would have thought demand from players, absolutely demand that every one of them is ruthless. Like, if you get a chance, you put it away. If you can get the ball in, you put it in. And when you've got DCL up there, I agree with you. It just seems a little bit too nice sometimes, doesn't it?
And you think he's got everything, don't you? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He has. He's got everything. He has got absolutely everything.
He looks like he's got the lot, but I think the goal he scores is one where, it's a great ball in from McNeil, set piece, Villa, you can argue about whatever, but it's just instinct, he heads it. Yeah. I think the 2 one-on-one chances is when I would never back him, because he's got to think about the thing. He's Martinez on the first one stood up big and he allows the defender to come back, but he had too much thinking time. And on the second one, he's thinking, I've just got to hit this as hard as I can. There were no finesse with the finish.
Was there,
Fair play to Konza, though, for getting back. That's incredible. Incredible. Because some people would give up on that. They'd be like, he's through on goal, that's a goal. They wouldn't sprint back the way he sprinted back. That was.
What does this mean for Sean Dyche? Is he on the brink, or is he? Will Everton sort of look at themselves and go, you know what? if there was somebody we wanted him to be in charge in this position, it would be him.
It would be him, wouldn't it? Because he's probably the last of the older school Sam Allardyce, Pulis type managers who'll come in and fight fires and keep you up. But he's been there a decent length of time now. Obviously, they've got the new stadium coming up next year. To be 2-0 up in the last 2 games and take nothing is, I mean, it's a body blow. Mentally, it's a body blow in that dressing room, in and around that environment. They're away at Leicester next weekend. I mean, it's a monumental fixture for him and that team.
What do Everton do this week in training, Toes? Because they have now let in 13 goals in 4 games.
I think next week it's just a win at all costs game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leicester, someone they'd look at and they think, we have to beat them already. Yeah. But going back to that, I think there's a shoo-in for Moyes now.
Really?
Well, everybody's been talking a little bit in the background. Does Moyes come back? And I mean, when you start hearing the noises, the momentum comes. There's no smoke without fire at any stage. And Dyche has done amazing with that team, but they cannot go down this season. The one thing that's in their favour is, we'll touch on the other games later, I think the 3 teams that have got promoted look like it's going to be a tough ask for them. But Leicester will be fancying that next week at home to Everton.
Well, yeah.
And if they can get that win, then that could give them momentum to drive on. I think Everton's next 2 or 3 fixtures are what they'd call winnable. I think after the break, they've got horrible fixtures.
Isn't this crucial for Everton, though? Because don't they go into a new stadium in the summer?
Yeah, in the summer.
So they don't want to go into a new stadium on a downer. Surely that needs to be the thing that goes, right, this is us.
Drives them.
We're here. We're going to do this. And that drives them on.
The other thing as well is, can they afford to sack him? I don't know what contractually he's like, how many years he's got or anything, but it's a costly old exercise, isn't it?
Not only that, but the owners as well. You don't really know who's in charge, who's going to be pulling the strings.
The potential new owner talking about.
But this is what I mean. When you've got potential new owners or like owners in the background somewhere. It's just anyway. Villa, we like Villa, don't we? We do. We like Villa. They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, win, don't they?
Really good.
They know how to win, and not being disrespectful to Sean Dyche, because he is a manager of his type and he's kept them in the league and done phenomenal really with them over the last 18 months, 2 years. But I think Emery coming in, Villa look a class apart, don't they? You know what I mean? And in the end, they could have won by a few more, if truth be told. But I think what will come for them is they've got the Champions League Tuesday, and that'll be the start of a new chapter in their season, and it's whether they can then sustain both elements of the game and not drop off when the Premier League comes around at the weekend again.
Shock of the weekend, lads. Shock of the weekend has to be.
Has.
This is a shock of the weekend.
I would have loved. What were the odds? Would have this been? This would have been 15, 16, 20 to 1.
I'd say maybe 11, 12 to 1. I was going to say.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Just
mid-teens. I'd have gone for. Either way, Forest beat Liverpool, which absolutely ruined everybody's accumulators and ruined everybody's fantasy Premier League as well, because Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, I bought him in as well, did a wild card.
Should have scored.
Absolutely ruined it. Yeah, he should have scored, yeah. How do results like this happen, Toast? Where do these come from?
So I think with Liverpool, they've kind of, now they've got all this noise being talked about them because they were going under the radar a bit. And for me, them being at home, Klopp was their perfect manager. High energy at Anfield. Anfield's just horrible, isn't it? The noise, everything. Whereas they've gone to like a nice team. They've turned into a nice team. So like for Anfield, it's almost
they're not
opposite.
Used to that, yeah.
So like they've gone from that like fight, going into every tackle, winning everything, and getting the ball forward, running forward, outrunning, and they've just gone to like this really nice team. And I think Anfield's a bit
subdued with it all.
Yeah, I think that's played a part, and also with how well they've done at the start of the season, haven't conceded a goal, answered all the questions that have been asked of them, and then they've gone and maybe they've got a bit of pressure, and after the international break, you can use them as excuses, but everyone's had it, so I don't know. I think that might come into
I think Forest are going to upset a few
That's
more this
my
season.
take on it.
I think they're really. I think they're going to upset a lot of teams.
You're a Wolves fan. I mean, he produced miracles at Wolves.
Yeah, he did.
No. Yeah. And I think that's the level of the Premier League. I think the coaches, the managers, obviously, look, they have the best talent, but the coaches and managers and the tactics of these guys are phenomenal. And he got his game plan spot on. I agree a little bit that Liverpool have lost a little bit of that Klopp real pressing stuff, but that's the Dutch philosophy. I worked with Ronald Koeman at Southampton for a couple of years, and it's all about ball possession and ball positioning. And it's not always about running for them. It's about being in the positions to receive and play.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool for 9 years have been brought up on that high energy Klopp style. And like you said, I mean, maybe the atmosphere was slightly different. But when you watch the game, Forest were well deserving of that.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Liverpool at the post.
What a goal, though.
Yeah.
The pass.
And
Elanga was outside.
Elanga,
because Alisson, we really love him, don't we?
Yeah, love him.
And he normally reads them situations, and he actually were in a good position. But
Really
the finish, he couldn't even go for it.
He didn't even hit it hard, either.
He's fully whipped it. Like he's hidden where he's
shape,
going to put it because he's got the defender in the way. But he started it right round the post. And even though Alisson's that side, and he's kind of scuttling over there, it's like, oh no,
it's past him though.
Yeah. No.
It were a proper goal, and Liverpool. Yeah, in the end, they had a couple of blocks. You know what it's like. The cop end, they're sucking the ball in. It's going towards you. So they had a bit of pressure last 10.
I don't think they had that
there
real
weren't
belief.
massive chances.
No, I agree.
The noise of Anfield.
They normally suck it into the goal for them.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
What they have, yeah.
They did nearly suck it in when Souch dropped it. Did you see that one?
Oh, God.
Mate, how that ball never went in.
It's a miracle.
It's hit his arm on the
jump,
It's hit his arm behind him through his legs.
Have you ever, the goalie's jump though? It's like a star jump, and it goes through his leg, and somehow his
arm is here by the side,
going,
and somehow bounces back down. And the way he looks at it and grabs it is like, I've got this under control.
I love the way he grabs it and runs off.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right, yeah.
Genuinely,
he's trying to run out of that situation, isn't he?
No thing. It's saying the thing.
When I saw it, I had the most massive gulp. I thought, what has just happened?
Got away with it there.
Oh, he's got away with it.
Fozzie, how high do you think Forest can finish?
It's tough for them because there are so many good teams in the Premier League. If realistically for Forest, right, if you can go anywhere between, even as high as maybe 9th or 10th to about 14th is a fantastic season for Forest.
So 9th to 14th, that's a bit broad, I reckon. I'm going to put my neck on the line now. I reckon they could finish in the top 8. I really do.
Do you want a £100 bet?
No. I don't.
I'd have snatched your hand off for that bet right there.
I'm really impressed with them.
Really, I agree. I totally agree. And they outwork teams because that's what they are now. They've got a clear identity of how they like to play, and they're very high. They just work their socks off. It's brilliant to see.
It's when they have a slump, though. If they have a slump,
exactly. They might get a couple injuries. If a Chris Wood gets an injury, and Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White gets a little bit of an injury, then that's when you're going to start struggling a little bit. But realistically, if you offer a 9th to 14th position to Nottingham Forest...
Oh, you're taking it.
Well, they're snapping it, but I think they've made some good signings. Prowse, who you had on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a stellar signing for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, he is.
You know what you're going to get. It gives them a real dimension on set plays. He's a proper midfield player at that level. And I think, like you said, the only problem teams like this have is they don't have enough depth if you lose one or two key players. But on what they've started with and how they look to be performing, I've just said about the manager, I think he's top manager. I think 10 to 14 is easily achievable. If they could somehow break into that top half of the table, that would be a monumental season.
Because a team like them, they will rely upon set pieces, won't they?
Yeah.
Price is going to provide
Quickly,
that.
just talk about set. Isn't it amazing, right? Like we all watched the Arsenal-Tottenham game yesterday, and everybody talks about this lovely style of football and playing, and it comes down to a corner and a header. And that's the beauty of it. Now, you've got to be... Football.
That's the beautiful game.
Honestly, like
people
football,
disrespected set pieces for
that's
so
what I'm
many
saying.
years,
Yeah,
haven't they?
it is, but so many years, and even now, it's so disrespected. And it's not such an important.
Pulis was ahead of his time, wasn't he?
It's so important, mate. Pulis knew exactly what he was talking about all them years ago. But it is so. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So everybody plays this lovely football, and you got your tactics, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and it comes down to somebody kicking the ball 35 feet into a box, and somebody getting a head.
Bullet header as well, isn't it?
Middle of the goal as well.
What game we got next?
Middle of the goal. Wolves, your boys. I felt for Wolves.
I felt for them. First half, I thought they were so dominant.
Very good, weren't they?
But then you have to give Eddie Howe some plaudits. Makes 3 changes at half time. And I'm not saying Newcastle were a totally different team in the second half, because I still think Wolves had a couple of opportunities. Yeah. And Pope obviously played well in the goals, and he makes a phenomenal save really late on in the game. But Newcastle, nobody's talking about them, because I don't think anybody's thought they've played particularly well yet, but they're on 10 points.
Spurs, isn't they?
Yeah. Played 4, 1-3, drew 1, lost.
I mean, that goal, that Fabian Schär goal was a little bit fortunate. Dawes has just got his head on.
But you got to
hasn't
take your
he?
shot.
But-
That's this is what we're talking about. It's like 25, 30-yard goals. Like they're a dying art. But if you take a shot, especially when it's a bit wet, you've got a chance.
Yeah,
Do you know
it's
what
the
I
old
mean?
saying that don't shoot, don't score.
Don't shoot, don't score. It's as
yeah.
simple as that. You've got to do it. You've got to give it a go. And I thought Wolves were brilliant. They were really good. They didn't deserve to lose the game. Newcastle just stuck the ball in the back of the net from 25 yards on 2 different occasions, and that was it.
What about the Harvey Barnes goal?
Who was it? Was it you that
Gotta
was
save
talking
that,
about it?
hasn't
You can't show Harvey Barnes inside.
No, you can't
show him inside.
And I think Gary O'Neill, in his post-match interview, obviously he's really disappointed. But as a manager, you know, when you're coming up against a team with the inverted wingers, especially with the quality they've got, you cannot show them in the pitch. And he was so disappointed with the defending because he accepts that the first goal's a bit of a fluke, if you like, especially because it's Shah not being disrespectful. It's a centre-half. He's 25, 30 yards out, get a deflection. But I think the second one, he's worked on that with his team. Yeah. Don't show him inside. Yeah. Like you're doing a thing later with Sam Johnson, and it'll be the first thing you'll talk about because when you open the goal up, for players of this quality, it's inevitable that 9 out of 10, you're not saving it.
Yeah, I know.
And I think Gary were really disappointed with how that action came about. And that's the level you're up against. I think Wolves have been really, really unfortunate not to have got more than a point. And I think he's a really good manager. And I think they'll be okay because of what I've spoke about previously about the 3 promoted teams. But the stats are they've got 1 point from 4 games. Yeah. And it's just the pressure becomes, and it mounts and it mounts and it mounts. And if you look at the fixtures, they've got Brighton away, Villa away and Liverpool home. I mean, there's no gimmies there, is there? There's no gimmies there.
I think Wolves will be all right. We're not one of the 3
Everyone
worst
likes
teams
him,
in the league.
Yeah. Everyone respects what he's done. And
Yeah.
coming through the adversity times, and it was hard for him what he came into, and then what he's done with that club is brilliant. And he's lost. Don't forget, he's lost Jota. Yeah, not Jota.
Neto.
Sorry, he's lost Neto, and that's huge for
Massive.
them. Being a Wolves fan, he's their biggest outlet, wasn't he? Their biggest goal provider.
Yeah.
And I think everyone just respects him and wants him to do well. They've turned into a team that everyone kind of likes now.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I like them, but you know.
Oh, just quickly on that Wolves goal. Do you see, how good was João Gomez leaving that ball?
Well,
so much traffic going on there.
That's where it's bad for the fantasy, innit? Because to be fair, if he don't dummy the the ball, it's never a goal, is it? But the assist, he's not getting an assist. Yeah. Lamina pokes it in, but the dummy were phenomenal. I mean, Shah's got no chance as a centre half there, to try and adjust your body weight and whatever. But they looked a good team going forward. To be fair to them, and they didn't give that much up, and that's what will be disappointing. That like you'd normally not going to concede 2 goals from outside the box in a Premier League match. You're just not higher, and they've got beat with two worldies, even though the first one takes a little deflection. But it is what it is, and they're only on 1 point. And on the flip side, it is what it is for Newcastle. They're on 10,
right, yeah.
and their fixtures, they're Fulham away next before City at home. So it's going to be an interesting game up at Newcastle for City, that's for sure.
Watto, your old boys, Southampton. It's been a tough start back in the Premier League, hasn't it, for them?
Yeah, I mean, got back from an early visit to Quorn FC to watch my son play on Saturday morning. Got back just in time.
Luke Varney was there for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
So
good knowledge.
Yeah.
Good. I like it.
You might win the quiz today. Anyway, we got back just in time to see the Saints walking out. And to be honest, they played well for 30 minutes. Look, as a newly promoted team, it's always tough against one of the bigger teams. In my time at Southampton, the home record against Man United was horrific. You just see it in the stars. And obviously, when you get an opportunity from the penalty, it's not the greatest penalty. It's a good save from Onana. He's up quick for the seconds, for sure. But when that happened, you just saw the life sucked out of him. Yeah. And for all I were very, very critical of him and complimentary of Brighton 2-3 weeks ago, Southampton got done on the thing. I think the setup for the set piece is really poor. The play short, and Man United had a 3v1 at the back post, which is what Brighton did to them. So they'd looked at it, they'd seen it, and as soon as he puts the header in, the game were gone. I thought Ramsdale played particularly well in goal.
Good save.
He had 3, 4, 5 saves in the game, which he's going to have to make. But Man United, ultimately, as soon as the penalty were missed, looked on a different planet. And Southampton are just now looking for crumbs. They've got Leicester at home next week. They don't look like they've got leaders in the team. The captain obviously got sent off for a poor tackle, so he'll miss the game against Leicester.
Was it straight red?
Straight red.
Three games.
He'll get 3 games. Yeah.
What did you think of it? What did you think of the tackle?
I thought it was a bad tackle.
Yeah, I thought so. Garnacho has done well to get out of the way of it. He saw it coming, but he's done well.
A lot worse.
Yeah, he's done well to get out of the way of it. To be fair, I was in the car actually. I wasn't watching this because I was dropping Louis at rugby, and I was listening to it and. Southampton were just battering Man United. It's oh my god, they're gonna beat Man United here. They're absolutely popping them. And then just as I was dropping Louis, they got the penalty, and I was like, we're sitting here and wait, all right. Saved it. As soon as he saved it, I said to Louis, they're gonna get battered now, right? I dropped Louis, went straight to the petrol station. I was in the petrol station for 6 minutes, right? 6 minutes I was in the petrol station. Got back in the car. It's 2-0 to Manchester United. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. But that's how football goes, Toes, isn't it? When you're a Southampton and it's a big game like this, you're playing one of the big boys and you get a golden opportunity from the penalty spot, how much life does it drain out of you and your team when you don't take that opportunity?
It's moments, isn't it? And again, I think the whole stadium, like you said, you're listening in the car and you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I bet the whole stadium knew it.
Yeah.
I bet everyone on the pitch knew
Players knew it.
So then the whole demeanour around the whole club and the stadium just becomes...
It's horrible.
Well, I think everybody was surprised that Archie took it.
Because
that's the thing. No, I don't think so.
Is it Brereton
Diaz? I think he's 9 from 9.
That's his first ever penalty.
Whose fault is that? Well, is that the captain on the pitch, or is it the manager not saying it before?
I think that
people need to take accountability here.
It is, coaching staff, obviously.
Was it clear or not?
I did set plays for a while, and I only had it once where players were arguing on the field. After that, it were always up. First,
are they the new Burnley or not? Like they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're nice.
But they've gone to a back 4 against Man United as well. I mean, I'm not sure whether that's...
Yeah, but if they score the penalty, you're not asking that question, are you?
But it's moments. It's moments, Toes.
It's key moments.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it goes to... I think the big part for me, the telling part for me is that when they do miss that penalty, everybody's shoulders slumped. Yeah. Everybody shrank at 2 inches. Everybody on that team. And that tells me that when the chips are down, which will happen quite a lot this season for Southampton, you can't rely on them. You can't rely on them to dig in.
Every game it happens where you're 1-0 up and you get a key chance, not a sitter, but a great chance to go 2-0 up, and it comes back to bite you.
I think at this level as well, like it's tough to score goals at any level of football. But when you're presented with a penalty, you need somebody who you can rely on because you need to go 1-0 up. Yeah. Southampton to win a game in the Premier League this year, they're probably going to have to score 2 goals.
Yeah.
Because I think the chances of them keeping half a dozen clean sheets this season would be a miracle.
You worry with Southampton that at the end of the season, the points tally could be seriously low, don't you?
Yeah, you need, again, if you're going to do it the way Southampton want to do it, and it's nice, you've got to be really good. You've got to be very good at doing it. And like Burnley saw last season, they think they can come into the Premier League and think they can just do it this certain way. And Premier League teams have been doing this for years and years and years, and they're stronger and they're bigger and they're more physical and they're more confident and they're better technically. There's a reason why they're Premier League teams. It's a big ask for somebody to get promoted and just carry on doing the way that they've been doing it in the Championship and think it's going to work the same way.
It's going to be a long old season.
What about who've adapted best for that is Brentford, I think.
Yeah, very.
The way that they do mix it up.
Yeah,
they came into the league as a total pass or ball playing team, and now they're like. The full credit to the manager, isn't it?
Yeah, but we spoke about that, didn't we, a couple of minutes ago about coaching tactics with Big Ange. You have to have different facets to your game.
Yeah.
Without the ball, but even your plan with the ball has to change, and certainly without the ball it has to change. You don't necessarily chase high for 90 minutes. You just physically can't do it. And that's where I liked Arsenal when they drop into a deep block, 4-4-2, everybody's really comfortable. Expansive when they go in, and I think Southampton, if they don't change soon, it is going to be a tough slog for them.
Well, that brings us on nicely then to Man City, and everybody forever has been talking about Pep Guardiola and his style of playing football out from the back, and yet the second goal was just a thing of beauty yesterday, lads. It was a thing of beauty. Ederson had the ball at his feet, saw big Erling, isolated poor Ethan Pinnock, ball over the top, 80-yard ball. The passage of play, listen to this, lads. This passage of play from when Ederson kicks the ball, Erling Haaland is running alongside Ethan Pinnock. Ethan Pinnock at this point, Toes, is thinking, I don't enjoy this.
No.
Isn't he? He's thinking, oh no. Lads, how have you let me be isolated, alone with Erling Haaland, right? And as he's running, I watch Erling Haaland and he sees the ball, and the ball's still only probably on the halfway line at this point, and he completely takes his eyes off the ball, right? Yeah. Just has a little glance at Ethan Pinnock, runs directly in front of him, uses all of his body, all of this, and just goes, and stop.
Yeah.
Nudges Ethan Pinnock out the way.
Game over.
It's game over. Yeah. It is game. But it's so clever. It is so clever that you need to watch it back, everybody. If you get a chance, just go back onto the Premier League YouTube channel, right, and watch this where it's the point where Erling Haaland takes his eyes off the ball. I was trying to show Louis it last night. It's genius, it is. Takes his eyes off the ball, completely forgets about the ball, and he just steps across the defender. The defender don't even know what's going on.
As clever as it is,
it's brilliant.
I think it's also naive of Pinnock.
It's so naive,
kind of relying. You're up against Haaland, who's strong as,
He's stronger than you and he's faster than you.
Yeah, so you got to accept that. Take your ego out of it.
So take a wide berth.
Yeah, so you just take the lesser of two evils. Yeah. Just take it, just drop in and take.
And just hope now I
one against Haaland. Yeah. That's better than being the wrong side of him. No, I wouldn't like to have that, but still, you're one-on-one. And
but this is what makes him world class, isn't it?
Because it's so good.
Because when you said about watching it back, Ben,
so clever.
You can watch it back and almost in like half pace, whatever, and you go, that's great, but in real life, it happens quick.
In a flash.
And the way, it's just streetwise, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's so streetwise.
Yeah.
But I look at this, Watto. I always think, how many Premier League strikers would have done what he did in that situation? I don't think...
I think, maybe I'm Team Arsenal, but I think Havertz has that in him to use his body like that, but he's not got the...
No.
Well, you did the Foscas with Shane Long. He was brilliant at that because he would have been that high.
Yeah.
So defenders never thought Longy had got a big jump or anything. So he didn't have the physicality of Haaland, but Longy was phenomenal at that. And obviously his time's gone now. But the difference, without being disrespectful to Longy, is you wouldn't have always backed him to score, although he did score the quickest one against you with an unbelievable finish.
7.69 seconds.
Oh, what a goal. And I was there just to clap it in. I'd not even got sat in my seat. I was like, oh my God, we're winning here. Come on.
It's nothing to do with anything. Where's it come from?
I just wanted to talk about it. Anyway,
he was looking at his goal cam, wasn't he? He was still trying to set that up.
I was bowling out, like having a nice time kind of thing. I looked up and went, oh shit.
You didn't stand on the goal line and touch the bar, did you? Get yourself set.
Do you know what I forgot? I forgot that because it was late in the season, right? So like we were safe, Southampton was safe. It was a bit of like a dead rubber, really. And Longy's come through and he's chipped it over me, he's dinked it over me because I was like on the edge of my 18-yard box, right? And I've said to him, some finish that, Longy. Yeah. Like, literally, the ball's just going out. I went, some finish that, Longy. And I totally forgot I said that. And he said it on the podcast the other day, didn't he? He went, the best bit about all of it, Ben, was that when I've dinked it over, you've gone, great finish, Longy. I've just gone, yeah.
I remember when you got lobbed that shit. Warren Wood.
I remember.
Might have been my fault as well.
What was that first 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah. Must have been flashbacks for you.
Oh, it was horrible.
Just on that ball from Edison, Ben.
Yeah.
He's what, 70 yards or something like that?
Yeah.
Why does it look like he's paying a 5-yard pass?
It's just, did you see it?
His levers, mate.
Honestly, he must have the strongest adductors or abductors, whatever it is, in world football, lads. It's like one step. This is what is genius, right? And I don't think there's another goalie that could play for Man City and Man City still be so effective because of this outball that they've got, right? So if teams come up against Man City and they go, right, we're going to press you today, Man City. We're going to really press you. We're going to start high and we're going to... Edison will just stick that ball on the 6-yard box, right, from the goal kick, and he can kick it to the edge of their 18-yard box. So Erling Haaland goes, all right, I'll just stand on the edge of the 18-yard box up here then, which makes the opposition then have to go, well, we can't just leave that big fucker up there. We're going to have to drop. So they end up dropping, and it brings everything back again. That's the beauty of Edison, isn't it?
But that's the benefit of having him in goal and the tactics, what we talk about, because as soon as he's kicked one long, Pinnock or whoever's marking him, they're dropping off.
Yeah.
The press is not as big, and then they got more spaces to play in between. It's interesting, Guardiola, very complimentary of Frank after the game, saying it'll not be long before he potentially lands one of the bigger jobs in Europe. Yeah. He obviously got mentioned before Man United decided that we're going to stick with Ten Hag. I mean, I think
he's adapted.
You alluded to it. Yeah. I think he can play any style of football. He can play any style with his team now, but he can play different shapes. But you imagine, and it's not been disrespectful to Brentford because they are a very well-coached team, but if he went to another team with better quality and a better level of player,
can you do with them?
I think he seems to be the real deal. And Brentford are fortunate to have him and have stuck with him in terms of continuity.
It seems like they love him as well.
Yeah, because
love him.
but there were no panic last season when it was such a freak season for him, wasn't it? That they were so bad. But they know they've got the real deal with him. But do you think he can go to that next level?
I think as well, like, you know, when in that season where they were really struggling and they went and signed Christian Eriksen, and he effectively kept them up in the Premier League. Like, again, he adapted to that, and then they lost Christian Eriksen and adapted again off the back of that. I just think he's, I think
it's like Tony going, isn't it? You've got Wissa and Mbuemo who are like really carrying the mantle for the team, isn't it? But when they went 1-0 down, I mean, it just says everything about City. It's like 27 seconds or something like that, wasn't it?
Yep.
I think everyone in the stadium just thought, oh, well, Man City will win anyway, won't
Without doubt. It's still going to be 4 or 5-1. That's what everybody thinks. I guarantee you,
well,
everybody thinks, even the Brentford goalie's still thinking that. I promise you. Even the goalie's thinking
He had a
at
good
least
game,
it's going to
didn't
be 5-1.
How's Haaland not got a hat-trick, by the way?
Great. Unbelievable. Oh,
Expect
God.
him to get him now.
you see Pep saying
yes,
he'll have a word with him after the game because he didn't get his hat
Just a
trick.
quick one. You must have had this discussion about Alisson and Edison.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll,
Who are you having?
They're different. This is the beauty of it. So Edison, there's nobody that could do a better job for Man City than Edison. There's nobody I don't think could do a better job for Liverpool than Alisson.
Who would you have, though?
Don't know. I don't know.
But again, it's your teams, isn't it?
Edison. I'll go Edison.
Yeah, I'd have Edison.
To play for Man City, Edison's perfect.
That's not answering the question.
No, but I'm
not answering the question.
I don't think Alisson would be. I don't think Pep would take him.
Yeah.
I don't think Pep would take him because he's not as good.
Yeah.
So the model you're saying is he suits Liverpool because yes, he's very comfortable, but he makes more saves.
Yeah.
He's not good enough.
Tozer said, who would you have in goal for England?
Yeah.
At the minute, I would stick with Pickford.
Watto?
Over Edison?
No, Edison or Alisson.
Yeah, but he's fucking Brazilian, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm with Watto. I'm like, we can't
I can't put a Brazilian.
Yeah,
I can't put a Brazilian in goal.
It's fallen on deaf ears, that has, hasn't it, Tom?
Yeah, no.
We know he's not, they're not English.
I said it in goal for England, not Switzerland.
No, all right. If Edison could play for England, you'd play him because he doesn't have to make saves for England.
If Edison and Alisson, they're not available, but if they were, who would you have in goal?
The way England are, when it comes to tournament football, I'd have to put Alisson in goal because he'd have to make more saves.
Interesting, see? That's interesting. That's the coach's perspective right there. I think you're right. I think Watto's right. I think you're
That many saves.
But we're never going to be the long ball over the top for somebody to run onto, are we? The way that we start trying to play, unless we want to revolutionise English football.
Can we talk about Bournemouth and Chelsea? Tozer, a goalkeeper's just difficult.
Yeah. I mean,
We're normal human beings. You know that.
You are a different breed. You are a different
They're the good
breed.
ones.
I've got a great picture actually of a keeper. There's a team having a team photo, and the keeper's just got his head on the floor. I think that sums up.
Is that before or after the game?
Probably before. Yeah. Keepers are a different breed, yeah.
Bournemouth, Chelsea, yeah?
Talking of keepers, Sanchez.
Yeah, talking of keepers, Sanchez, man of the match, penalty save, a couple very good saves in the game as well. We spoke about him last week, actually, Toes, is that he's had a bit of a rocky start to the season. There's that whole Chelsea goalkeeping thing, they've got about 10 goalies stockpiled. He physically looks like he is an absolute athlete, a specimen of a goalkeeper. In fact, looks like he's got absolutely everything. Just sometimes there's some goals go in where you just kind of question his positioning.
Yeah.
But in this game, it was incredible. It's exactly the same as the Southampton Man United game, actually. Bournemouth get a penalty. Big, massive moment. They put the ball in the back of the net. It's a completely different story. They didn't. Shoulders dropped. They end up losing the game 1-0.
Again, big moments,
Big
isn't
moments.
it? Big moments, but also Nkunku scoring the goal.
Yeah.
That's a big moment for him, isn't it? Coming into the team and showing this is what I'm about.
Yeah.
And he did it as well in his celebration for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't like the celebration, but
Horrible.
what I did like was Sancho's performance. Obviously, there's been a lot of hoo-ha, obviously leaving Man United, put him on at half-time, and he changed the game, to be fair to him.
Yeah, he did.
He was very good with the ball. I think they've still got a lot of work to do for him to work as a top player against the ball, because there were times even late on in that game where he were jogging back, and a top team wouldn't be having it. So I still think there's a lot more to
When you
come
come on
from
at half time as well,
45 minutes.
you don't get to jog back.
No.
You don't get to jog back in the 90th minute. No chance.
You're proving a point, sure.
Exactly.
Coming on to prove.
Exactly.
And for how well he did with the ball, that will kind of, watching it live, I'm like, you're not running, mate. It's 0-0 or it's 1-0.
Yeah.
Come on, you're doing unbelievable stuff with the ball, but your team now need you. But, I mean, Bournemouth couldn't do any more than not to get anything out of that game. I think they're the real deal. Iraola, fantastic manager again. They're a real good team, and how they've come away with nothing. But Chelsea actually did show some resilience. It says here, so the first time they've had a clean sheet in 20 away games. So you're building some kind of resilience there, because stats like that for a top team, they're not going to get anywhere near the top 6.
But like you said there about Sancho not running back, how are you going to build that resilience when you haven't got him running back and buying in? But then is that their philosophy? Is that the way he wants to play? Leave it open.
If you were his captain, Toes, would you? Is that, or Ben? If you were his goalie coach, Watto, is that something where you'd have a little, as a player, would you have a little word and be like, mate, come on, you need to do a bit more?
Yeah, I think a bit more than a word in the game. But yeah, after the game, half time, it would be a calm word of like, you're gonna fucking get back.
Yes.
Whereas in the game, it might be get back. Yeah, it's. I think like we talked about Arsenal there. Yeah. You know, and you look at City, they won't allow it.
No.
Klopp's Liverpool wouldn't allow it. I think that's the top now, and that's probably why he's kind of floating around and he's at Chelsea. And
this is where you need, genuinely, it's where you need big leaders and players and men on the pitch as well. So like a Tozer as a captain, I know for a fact I wouldn't have to worry about trying to get after a Jadon Sancho and say, work yourself back, because he would be telling him, and even at full time, you've won the game 1-0 and he's got his assist and whatever. I don't care. You're still going up to him. You're going, don't you dare not work back ever again. If you would have cost us a goal there in the 94th minute because you didn't work back, this whole story would have changed. I promise you. And you would be in the shit. I promise you.
And is that a conversation that might happen in the week? No.
I'm talking walking off the pitch.
No, I know, but as well.
Oh, yeah,
would you reinforce that down the corridor? Or
you'd make a point of one, you might even go and talk to the manager about it, personally, privately, because it can affect your team on a Saturday afternoon. So then the manager will go and pull a lad and say, listen, we need you to work back. That's not even an option anymore. You don't do that. If you're not working back, I'll bring you off. Simple as that. A question I want to ask you, though, is would you claim an assist for what Jadon Sancho got as an assist? Because the Christian Nkunku goal was fantastic, right? But the ball gets played to him in the 18-yard box. He swivels about 7 times, takes 7 players on and puts it in the corner, right? Can you claim an assist for that?
He would definitely claim an assist for that. I mean, even I can pass it 10 yards. You can pass it 10 yards.
I wouldn't claim an assist for that. No chance.
Do you know what I'm saying, though?
But for them and their numbers and everything like that, they'll claim the assist. But yeah, it's like the Gary Neville Giggs situation, isn't it? You know, back in the day when he passes up the ball, he goes on amazing
run and scores a
worldie. Assist? Is it an assist?
You can't claim an assist for that, because all I see after the game is Jadon Sancho's man of the match. I got an assist, a clean sheet, and a win for Chelsea.
That's clutching at straws.
Come on, you can't be claiming an assist when you play it into somebody with their back to goal on the edge of the 18-yard box.
And he does all the work.
Beat 3 players, slides it in the corner.
Not the internet calls that, don't you, Ben? Stat padding.
Stat padding. That's exactly what it is.
In the modern world, you've got to take everything you can get. That's another new word for me. What? Stat padding.
Stat padding.
Stat padding.
Yeah. But boosting your stats.
I need to boost my stats, mate. I can tell you.
All right, come on then, let's move on. You lot, a few more games to get through. We've got the quiz at the end, Toes, which everybody loves. We've got a few draws for you. Right, Fulham, West Ham. Before the game, I was listening to TalkSport, and Max Rushton, do you know how he introed this game? He said, right then, Fulham won, West Ham won. How's this game going to go? And he was right.
He shouldn't be, though.
He was exactly right.
Like my massive gripe is the West Ham goal.
Yeah.
The ball goes out for a throw-in, and everyone switches off. Even Robinson, the left-back, he should be, the centre-half for me should be obviously telling Robinson, get in, midfield, get in. The ball's just gone out of play. It's the 95th minute. 95th minute. And the ball goes out. How can that happen? Yeah. It's a criminal offence. They have to all get back into the unit, and then the centre-half, to be fair to him, looks tired, he lunges in, and then lunges again. But that, for me, that should have been 1-0 Fulham.
These are the moments, aren't they, Toes?
But that's the top level.
This is what we're talking about here. If this would have happened in that Chelsea game, and these moments happen like that, literally like that. When you're in the 95th minute and everybody is tired, it's even more important to get everybody shouting and talking and pulling and switch on, because when the ball goes out of play, that's when most mistakes happen.
But there's a still image of the point where whoever it is picks the ball up, and the whole back four for Fulham are all pointing and looking up that way as though there's another ball somewhere else.
This one.
And this one don't count. And none of them, and like you said, look, ball in, and then obviously Ings has a great first touch and wraps it into that near post. I think it's tough for Leno to get down and save it. It's a tough finish.
You'd be raging with that as a coach, wouldn't you, Watto? Fuming.
But you know what? Like, we're talking here, but what's hard is, like, as a member of staff on the side, I'd be seeing that and thinking, we're done it. You can see he's picking the ball. You can see the West Ham guys, and then you can see you can feel it, but you can't affect it because the back four somehow think we're doing spot the ball and it's up near the halfway line and they're just going to have a jog up.
But I must admit, I've done it myself where I'm like, get back. Oh no, he's throwing it behind me. Like, so the striker's made a run off it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
so
trying to deal with it.
Saying everyone get back, and then I don't take my own responsibility. He runs off the back of me and gets
split second, isn't it?
It's
like,
split
second.
Why should I have to shout that? That should be ingrained in everyone to get back, shouldn't it? It should. 95th minute as well.
It should be if you do it properly.
5th minute, but even the 95th minute, that's criminal.
West Ham have come away from this game knowing that they have picked the pockets for Fulham. They have absolutely picked the pockets. And Marco Silva, as Fulham coach, will have got into that manager's room, the coach's room, and he would have just looked around, gone, "How? What have we done there, lads? How have we managed to shoot ourselves in the feet so badly?"
His team's set up. The back four's there. It's not as though they've had some crazy thing. It's 95 minutes. They've actually battered West Ham. Yeah. Never looked like conceding a goal. There's a throw-in in their final third, and that's it. It's the last action of the game. Yeah. They're all there.
Just lock on.
But then there's that Fulham as well, ball boys. You know, if that was Stoke back in the day, ball boy would have thrown the ball on the pitch.
Slow it down.
There'd have been no ball there.
Yeah, exactly. But if it was, they'd just throw it on the pitch. Can't do a ball boy for anything. Yeah. Just throw it on the pitch, let him go and get it, let everyone get back. Like, it's...
I love it. I love it, Toes. Honestly, like these little things.
Fine margins.
Dark arts. It is dark arts.
Call it the dark arts. It's not. I think this should be run of the mill stuff. Like
you used to be playing, and you used to see them. You're getting beat wherever you're getting beat. Yeah. 20 minutes to go. You see them walk round. All the ball boys take all the balls.
I don't know if there's regulations.
No, I think
allowed
some
now,
different
but
regulations.
Go around the ball boys and go, lads. If it's the 95th minute, right, and don't give them back. Just do whatever you want. Let him kick you if you want.
Like Swansea.
Chelsea Swansea.
That lad owns AU vodka now.
I know, it works out for him.
Hey, Jiminy, that's your favourite drink of all time, isn't it? AU vodka, come on.
I might go back and be a ball boy.
Oh, wrong.
I'd just say, by the way, Emile Smith-Rowe, if he's going to be playing every week now, are we going to see some serious player?
Again, as an Arsenal fan, like, you wanted him to get minutes, but was he really doing enough for the team? You knew he had the ability, and it was also like you didn't want him to leave, but you wanted him to leave for him, and he's going and proving it. And what a player! I think he's got.
What was it for Arsenal? Why did he not quite cut it? Why didn't he?
I think it was that out of possession.
Really,
it was
the work rate.
Yeah, I think it was that. I don't think it was necessarily bad, but I just don't think it was good enough.
Yeah,
his ability is unquestionable, isn't it? And, the pass for the goal, he'll have meant that, wouldn't he? Pass
without doubt. Without doubt, yeah.
He's meant that.
I think this is so important for like young lads watching, listening, is that bit there, the work rate, the work ethic. You can't actually instill it in some people, can you? If you want to make it and you want to survive and thrive at the top or wherever it is that is the top for you, work rate and work ethic and the will to want to win and get back in and do... Like, that is, you have to have it. Yeah. It's essential.
Yeah.
There's no mincing your words here. You have to have it. You're not going to be a footballer without it. Simple as that.
Yeah, team comes first, doesn't it?
It does.
That's what it should be, yeah.
Another one, 2-2. Palace, Leicester absolutely cruising, 2-0 up. Jamie Vardy up to his old tricks again, scoring again.
Watto, that offside, mate, Mateta, what do you make of this?
Honestly, when it first come up and didn't even have lines on, he looked a yard offside, half a yard offside, and like everybody's no goal. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I don't care how you draw these lines, but the angle didn't quite look right on where they were looking at it. And I know Steve Cooper's gone in after, and he's raging, and he'll want an explanation. He'll try and get some different angles and some different pictures. He looked offside, but somehow they've drawn some lines, and they've got away with one because Leicester at that point 2-0 up, and it's a minute after they've gone 2-0 up, and it looked, to be fair to them, as though they'd hung on. But I'm not quite sure whether we got the proper view of them lines.
Has it been,
I think VAR's got to speak about that.
Has it been redrawn or anything like that? Have we seen a clear, concise kind of...
I've only seen that one line where it was kind of like on the diagonal, and he looks like his top half is...
You've got the pitch lines like that, and then you've got the VAR line like that.
I can't believe it's taken us this long to talk about VAR.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
I just can't believe it takes them so long to get an offside. It
should be so easy.
You can play a game of FIFA and the offside's done straight away. I know it's all computer and stuff, but like, how is it taking them so long? I don't know how long this decision took exactly, but it seemed...
Oh, it'd have been a couple of minutes.
But I go back to watching the Everton Villa game because it's the same thing. It's a set piece. You should have a line there, but it were on an angle. The line there the same, because at one bit it looked like you were offside easy, but then you saw Tielemans' leg keeps him on. But the angle weren't flat, straight.
Surely
you should have enough.
Yeah, the VAR cameras have them every 3 feet or something like that.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a square on picture and it's clear as day. So, but this is what we shouldn't have, because it should be black and white for offside with the technology. And I hope ultimately, for Leicester's sake, that whenever they get to see a better image, that he is onside, because obviously at that point, if they stay 2-0 at that point, I think the game's done.
In fairness to Palace, they had a bad one at VAR a couple of weeks ago, didn't they, with Eze, with the free kick that he put direct into the goal. Yeah. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, but still you'd rather they just get the decisions right in the first place.
Offside has to be,
Yeah, I know. It's not hard, is it?
Because the lino flagged it as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which made it kind of...
Yeah.
People are saying, like, there's an element of doubt there.
Normally they don't put them up, so he thought that were offside. Yeah. And clearly offside.
But to be fair, the defender's on the other side of the linesman, isn't he? So it's just his foot, isn't it?
Yeah. The small margins are there.
Yeah, smaller size shoe, it might have been on.
Jamie Vardy scoring again. We're going to talk about Dean Henderson's part in the goal in keeper's corner in a bit, aren't we? He's just a little bit indecisive, wasn't he, coming out to him?
It's either shall or shan't, and when you make that decision, even though he's 37, Jamie Vardy, he's still rapido.
Oh, mate, he ain't pulling out. He ain't stopping.
And can't believe it. In the end, it's an easy finish for him because of the goalie's hesitancy. But the one I felt for was Conor Cody. You know, you come on to shore a game up. You come on in the 83rd minute. He actually does great, and it's that little one. How many times do you see it when they just nick it off you, and you don't see him coming?
He knew, didn't he? The second he knew straight away. How fast is Jamie Vardy still, by the way? I would love to know in the Premier League with all the players what percentage he's in, because he still looks like...
Mate, if you drank 6 Red Bulls before a game, you'd be rapido. Don't worry about that.
Maybe I need to try it.
Over the way forward.
Over the first sort of 15 yards, 10, 15 yards, he'll be right at the top still. I bet you.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he'll be right at the top.
How? 37. How?
Bonkers, isn't it? How? What would be playing against him like as a centre back?
I've only ever played against him in a pre-season friendly, and like the way I remember is he always stayed offside because he knew he was quick enough to go onside, offside, like not offside, obviously onside, bang. But it was it's frightening as a defender for some. I mean, someone who's blessed with pace as well, but it's for you just to be on edge the whole game. You are as a defender anyway, but then to think he's got me. If it's half a yard, he's got me. If it's a yard, he's got me. If it's 2 yards, he's got me. So like. You just drop deeper, don't you? And it's just... Is
it kind of inevitable sometimes? Sometimes you have to just hope that opportunity doesn't arise.
Yeah, hopefully they don't play the pass that they see. Wow. Hopefully it's just, I think when he's that clever as well, because there's so many strikers who've got the pace, but he's clever, isn't he? He uses his body well. And like I said, first time I've really experienced playing against someone who's just stood offside the whole time and offside, ready to... And you just think, you're looking around, and then the second you look around, he's gone back and he's,
But I think that's where he has you, isn't it? That's what he's relying on. You know before the game, even if he's on your shoulder, he's quicker than me. So you're thinking about dropping and forget about all the pressure on the ball. But when you can't see him, that's danger territory.
Yeah.
That's real danger.
Constantly still be playing at 40 odd. He's got...
Depends how much Red Bull he has, mate.
Wouldn't surprise, would it?
Hey, look, he looks in proper order. Look, he's going to pick up
Yeah.
niggles. I think it's interesting talking to him at the start of the season when he'd scored against Spurs. I think they've got a real good programme for his game recovery and minutes on the training field. They know now, for what he can deliver, it's about him getting minutes in the Premier League. So his minutes out on the training field and his recovery strategies will be absolutely
Looks like he's got his mojo back as well.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, mate, if you could just turn up probably one day a week and train and play and have what he has, but as you get older, it's about a manager knowing less is more.
Trusting that,
And if he can get them 10 goals, they might have a chance this year.
Yeah.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Game of the week. Do you know what, right? Again, I was listening to TalkSport because I was doing a lot of driving on Saturday, and Troy Deeney was covering this game, actually. And all he kept saying was, Brighton are incredible. Genuinely. He just kept saying, Brighton are incredible. No joke. The way that they're playing. Who was the midfielder that they've got? I can't remember. He put him he put him in the team this week anyway. Yeah, so Baleba. He said, honestly, like a player to stand out so much head and shoulders above everybody else was phenomenal. He said, but this Brighton team, they are a proper team. And he would back them to basically play or beat most teams in this league.
It seems like they've got so much right as a club, haven't they? Their recruitment's just phenomenal.
Just
Recruitment managers, phenomenal. Yeah, the way they want to play. I mean, last week they played Arsenal, didn't they? And they were against 10 men, and they looked good even.
Yeah. They're not overawed by going away to any stadium, are they?
I mean, the young manager. I don't know. It just seems like they've got so much right. And I mean, fair play, credit to Ipswich though, going away there and
a massive result.
I think it's a good job Muric got sent home early from that Kosovo squad. Just get some practice in this week, get some saves made in training. But yeah, he was phenomenal. Yeah. But I think
the saves that cost him against City, though, was it?
Oh my!
Why you got to bring them ones up for?
Hey, look, he's slept since then.
Sorry,
and he's got a 0-0, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think in the whole of the Premier League, for all the teams, look, we know that nobody wants to play City, Liverpool, all that. But I think most of them would say they don't want to play Brighton.
Brighton away. Brighton away at the Amex.
But I even think sometimes, mate, at home, because Brighton's such dominant possession-based team, you want to sometimes get some momentum at home, and they just take the sting out of the game, they play the football. I think that's the one team at the minute. None of them want to play.
They're not phased, are they, by anything?
No, they're not phased, and they'll play what they play. But they still play a possession-based game, but there's so much rotation that they can play differently. The patterns are not all short, inviting you in. I think they've got the whole package. And obviously they'll be disappointed with that, but they're unbeaten at the start of the season.
Good point for Ipswich, though.
It's a massive,
really good point.
Massive point.
And Liam Delap, mate, he looks raw. He just looks direct, quick, and like that. The way he carried that ball for that, did he hit the post or?
Yeah, and he's running away from him with the ball. There's two of them after him.
Yeah. Big, strong, isn't he? Big, strong, galloping run. We're going to talk about the Muric double save on the Keeper's Corner later. But yeah, there's not going to be many teams go away to Brighton, keep a clean sheet. Fantastic result for Ipswich. Boys, do you know what time it is? Tozer does. Tozer does. Quiz time. Okay, Jay, we good?
All good, yeah, ready? 10
Yeah.
questions, yeah? So you can come back in, but only when I say. That's the rule.
answer?
So quickly, just to it's quick finger, fastest finger first. Basically, no, just say it. Just say it.
Just go for it.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
One of the questions that Jamie asked last
totally.
week was Oasis have just got back together. What team do they support?
Oh, wow.
Like,
Plymouth
Man
Argyle.
United.
In his defence, I don't think he was born when they
Right.
were
but
formed.
still, like
They haven't just made a
that's the quality of questions that we're talking about right now. Okay.
So,
I don't know.
all
Cheers,
four
thanks.
of us get it wrong.
Yeah.
Jiminy should say we're allowed back in.
Yeah, and then you can quickly.
So once you say it and you get it wrong, that's it. You're
You
right.
don't.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Unless we're all out.
You not watched this before, Ben?
Got to be quick. Then.
I thought you were a serial
I've got
viewer.
kids. I've got kids.
Right, come on then, Jay. Let's go.
Right, question 1. Which Portuguese player has got the most assists
Fernandes.
in Premier League history? Not Bruno Fernandes.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No. Which Portuguese player
Nani.
has got the most Premier League assists in Premier League history? You've gone 4-3-2 and you're missing the 1.
Might take my time here.
You only
We
get
have to
10
do a
seconds.
countdown.
Oh, do you?
Oh, 5 in it.
We'll
Well-
be soon. We'll be soon.
Jamie will put you on a countdown soon. I mean, he probably should have put you on the countdown by now, but
5,
Probably should have.
4,
I can't even think of Portuguese players.
3, 2, 1. It is.
Are we back
wait.
in?
No, we what's...
Ferreira.
No. You're all back in. No.
Silva.
Deco?
What Silva?
I don't know.
Bernardo Silva.
Oh, hold on a minute. Come on. I didn't get a chance to answer. Did I?
That is Tozer.
No, but I've said Silva.
I think it's got to be Tozer.
That is sloppy, Watto.
That is so sloppy. It's got to be Tozer.
Hey, but you got to give me a chance to answer it. I've got the answer, haven't I?
No, but it's past his finger first. It's whoever says it first. Ah, see, it's a nightmare.
about your wedding
Say
ring.
Silver.
Yeah.
I always talk about his wedding ring.
Silva.
I
There's
said,
many
like,
Silvers.
what colour's your wedding ring?
Yeah.
Not Portuguese.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
is,
there's
yeah.
loads of them.
Loads.
Who are we giving that to then?
Ben Tozer.
Special guest appearance, yeah.
He's only been in the
I can't believe I
for about half a week.
Player.
Over about 10 years.
44 assists for Bernardo Silva, and Nani's got 42, and
should have got half a
Bruno's got
point.
42 as well.
Fair dues. Good start. Good question,
Sorry,
Jay.
90, 43.
Yeah.
There you go. Question 2. Who were Manchester City playing against when Balotelli revealed the why always
Man
Man
United.
United.
Man United? It was Ben.
Oh, well done.
Yeah,
You heard
Ben,
me
it was.
first this week, yeah?
Yeah.
Which Ben?
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, that's a good
Clarify.
point.
Ben Foster.
Question 3. Which was the first Premier League club that Claudio Ranieri managed?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Is the correct
You're on it today.
He's on it today.
He is on it today.
Name 2 others he's managed.
They're on it.
Leicester and Watford.
Leicester and Watford.
Yep.
Don't forget that, because they've had so many managers.
2000.
Did he manage you at Watford?
Yep.
Honestly.
The Tinker Man.
The Tinker Man.
Tinker man, yeah. He liked pizza, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember when they asked him in a press conference about your GoPro?
Yeah.
And he basically said, "Oh, Ben wants to be a movie star."
Yeah, a movie star. He came up to me in the team meet when we were having a meeting. He walked over and he went, "I didn't know you were a movie star."
Saying that in a negative way.
No. He was genuine. He was being really nice, but
yeah.
he still didn't understand that YouTube isn't being a movie star kind of thing. He said, "So you're very impressed. You want to be a movie star?" And the lads kind of looked at me and said, "What?" And I went, "I don't know." And then I
Just keep going, mate. Just
and
keep
then I
going.
saw the press conference and I clocked on and I thought, "Oh, he thinks I'm actual movie star, not a YouTube."
Well, you are, aren't you?
Yeah. Question 3.
There we go.
Question 4.
Question 4. Who was the last Manchester United player to win the Golden Boot?
Ronaldo.
No.
Dwight York.
No.
Van Persie.
Van Persie is the correct answer. Yeah.
Good.
You're flying, ain't you?
Happy with that one.
Very
Easy.
good.
Answer that, yeah.
2012,
very good.
2013,
2-2 nil.
26 goals.
We're doing well, Tom, aren't we?
Yeah. So it's 2-2, 0-0.
All right.
Come on, Watto.
Yeah, come on.
Question 5. Who was the last British manager to win the Premier League Manager of the Season?
Moyes.
No.
Eddie Howe.
No. Who was the last British manager to win the Premier League Manager of the Season?
Sir Alex.
No.
Brendan Rodgers.
No.
I
You haven't won yet,
I've
have you?
got that's everyone in there.
Is that everyone? Yeah.
who's
yeah,
everyone
all back
said
in.
there?
All back in. Yeah.
Who did you say before?
Not done it.
Has anyone said Eddie Howe?
Get in.
You're out. How, yeah.
Why you don't listen?
British manager to win manager of the season.
Yeah. Manager of the Season. 5.
Harry Redknapp.
No. 4. 3. 2. 1. Tony Pulis. 2013.
Palace. Palace. We got
Yeah.
him safe. Took
Yeah.
over, didn't he? Got him safe.
Yeah.
Punch
Wouldn't
him.
have got that in a million.
I wouldn't.
Jason Puncher.
I wouldn't have got that.
Very good.
Yeah. There we go.
Very
Fair dues, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Good
very
question.
good question.
Very good
Yeah.
question.
We'd never have got
Hey, you've had a couple of weeks to sort these out, haven't you? Do you need 2
Yeah.
weeks for every quiz now?
No.
You just worked twice as hard.
that. I don't know where I got my answer from, by the way.
It's good.
Question 6. Who is Liverpool's all-time top goal scorer?
Rush.
Salah.
No and no.
Rush, I said.
Oh, yeah, Rush.
Oh,
Rush
thank
is
you.
the correct answer.
Oh, thank
didn't
you.
hear
I was
say
going to
it.
say,
Does it know I'm here?
Yeah.
What chance have I got?
Suarez.
he's getting complacent with you being here. Watto.
Hey,
I did hear like
Lukey,
14
seriously,
people at the same
seriously,
time.
what chance have I got?
300.
You got
See,
muffled
loud voices.
You got
the
muffled
quiet
out.
one in the middle, got nothing there.
Two
What would
strong
Jamie?
voices.
What would Jamie normally say? Ben squared.
Ben squared, yeah. Yeah, so Watto, you got that one.
Thank you.
339 goals he scored.
Wow.
Wow, that's not bad, is it?
That was
Before
before our time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
fair
my
dues.
time. Question 7. Which stadium in the Premier League this season has the lowest capacity?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth is the correct answer. What has come back?
Jesus Christ. I'm on a zilch.
11,307 is their stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I asked the questions, mate.
2-2-2, and Tom, you're on 0.
Thanks, Dave.
He's on it today, Jiminy, isn't he?
I can count to 0.
Question 8, career path question.
You like these, Ben?
You do, man.
I have played for San Lorenzo, Espanyol, Manchester City, West Ham.
Fabregas.
No.
That's a bad answer, that.
Hey, have you got one?
Oh, Zabaleta?
Zabaleta's the correct
Yes,
answer.
Tom!
Very
Great.
good.
That's
one.
very good.
Is it Pablo Zabaleta?
Yeah.
Pablo Zabaleta.
Very
Do I get the point for that?
No, yeah, you're very good.
How good was he, by the way?
Very good.
Proper,
wasn't
wasn't it? Proper.
Question 9. Spurs won their last major trophy in 2008.
League Cup.
Both out.
Huh?
You're both out. Spurs won their last major trophy in 2008, but who did they beat to win it?
Chelsea.
Chelsea is the correct answer. 2008.
Michael Dawson.
Chelsea.
I think Michael Dawson might have.
Maybe.
Who? Woodgate.
Woodgate. Final
Massive.
Final question.
League Cup. Dickhead.
Question 10. Final question.
Pressure
Potentially the
on
final
it.
question. We've got
What's the
tiebreaker.
scores? I'm on
3, 2, 2, 1.
Yeah.
So I'm out. 3.
We've got to get this between us to get to a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Don't want him winning.
So even if I know, I'm not going to say because I want you guys to tie break.
Thanks for
That's shit.
It's tactics.
That's shit.
That's tactics. That's
That's
like the ball
wankers.
boys round the
That's so
outside.
spiteful, isn't it?
Isn't it? That's so shit.
It's spiteful.
I love it.
Comes from like
It's
the absolute quiz shit house.
it's
tactics.
Tactics,
Childish
Tom.
person here.
That really bothered him.
It does.
Yeah, come on, get the
Well
question
done.
while he's not fucking focusing.
I'm not answering.
Question 10. When Vincent Kompany scored that screamer in 2019, who was in goal?
Casper Michael.
I wanted someone to dive in with Leicester.
We spoke about it on the show earlier.
you
I was
brought
going
it
to say
up.
Leicester, but I
Jhon
thought
Duran,
I'd jumped the gun already.
Yeah,
hadn't I?
they
So-
all were. They were all
The
waiting.
problem is you have to jump the gun in these quizzes.
You do. You do.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, so Ben is the
Disappointed me.
winner.
Well played, though.
4
Play Benny.
points.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Tom.
Ben, you did really well.
Really well, yeah, really well.
Yeah, mate, really good.
So who won the quiz?
next
Ben.
week.
Just Ben. Good luck next week.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Well done. There you go. Ben goes up on to 2 points for the quiz, level with Watto somehow. We will see you all next week. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.